Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and I want to give a huge thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. Check out my new cutting machine. I got the new Cricut Joy Xtra. I love it. It's kind of like the combination between a Cricut Joy and the larger Cricut cutting machines. Here is a size comparison of it next to my Explore Air. You can see how small and cute it is. I thought this would be great to do some cutting to make our own Christmas ornaments. And for those, we're going to use these little wood ornaments from Dollar Tree. They come 3 in a package. And the great thing about these wood slices is they already have the hole drilled in there. I noticed one of mine had water damage, but that's okay. We'll just use the other 2 because I want to use the exposed wood. I did a quick measure on them. They are a little bit different. And then I'm going to go into my Cricut design space, and I like to do the shape of whatever I'm working with. So I just added a shape, a circle, changed the size, and even the color to kind of make it represent what I'm designing because I'm a really visual person. Then I'm going to go into the images like already in Cricut Design Space and look for a seahorse. I already had some bookmarked that are my favorites, and I think I'm going to go with this one. I want to kind of shrink this down to kind of make it the same size as our little Christmas ornament. And I even like to change the color on those to what I'm cutting. I'm going to be cutting HTV out of that. Now I also want to add some Christmas charms, so I'm going to add a few snowflakes from Cricut Design Space as well. I want to like a little bit of variety, but I also want them like small enough to kind of fit on the Christmas ornament. And I think the combination is going to look really pretty. Now, I'm only using 2 snowflakes, but I'm just using the copy and paste feature. It's so easy. And then just kind of dragging them to resize them. For my second ornament, I just copied my circle so I would have that. And then I went in to look for a sea turtle under images and grabbed one as well. I think this one would look really cute. So I just kind of sized that, changed the color, put that on my little wood disc or my circle. And then I'm going to copy and paste the same little snowflakes that we used on the other one. I don't have as much space on the sides on this one, so they're going to have to be a little bit smaller, and they're very intricate little snowflakes, but I'm sure that the Cricut is up to the task. So I'm just kind of spreading those out all over. And then I remembered that one of the little ornaments was kind of a different size. It wasn't 3 by 5 by 3 by 5. It was like shorter, right? So you can actually make an oval shape too, just by unlocking it, changing the dimensions to whatever they are. And that made me also have to change up my snowflakes. I'm glad I remembered because this one was totally a different shape than the first one. But I think 5 snowflakes on this one will be great. And then what I do is go in and grab the snowflakes for one project, and then I attach those together. That way they'll cut out and there'll be a perfect space for my little seahorse and sea turtle to go inside the ornament. Now, one of the great things about the Joy Xtra is I can use smart materials, so I don't need to use a mat. It tells me that I'm going to need about 6 inches. I'm going to use smart iron-on, and this is the first one we're going to use. This is for the Joy Xtra, so it's just the right size to go into this machine, and this is just a matte white HTV. Now, if you're asking why I'm using HTV, it's because it works really well on wood projects. You can also use vinyl, but I kind of wanted to show you an HTV option. Now, I'm just going to use my cutter to cut down a little over 6 inches of vinyl. And look, you can just feed it right in. There's no buttons or anything on this machine. You start everything from your computer. So it checked to make sure that I put in enough. And I really love the convenience of not using a mat. But if you need to use a mat or you want to, you totally can. So it's great. It just goes in. It's going to cut out those really intricate little snowflakes that I designed for the ornaments. And again, since I attached them all together, it's going to print them out exactly where I want them to. And I did both ornaments at once to make sure that I used all of my vinyl there. Now it's time to weed these out and see how the new Cricut Joy Xtra did. I am just going to pull this off. I think weeding HTV is a lot easier. All you have to do is pull. It's not sticky or anything like that. So I just pulled off all the extra iron-on. And then again, this was kind of an intricate cut. So I'm going to kind of try to weed out some of the little tiny pieces inside. But otherwise, it did a great job with those intricate little snowflakes. Now for the sea creatures, I'm going to use this Smart Iron-On in Prismatic Glitter. It comes in this mint color that I thought would be perfect for coastal decor. So again, I'm just going to cut down like 6¼ inches, and we're going to go ahead and actually select that setting. And don't forget to mirror if you're using HTV. I'm just going to kind of move mine around to make better use of my vinyl and just pop it in. It does a great job of cutting out the little seahorse and sea turtle. I'm just going to go ahead and pull off all the extra material. I did find that the sea turtle and the seahorse were very detailed, so definitely take your time. I'm going to include a link to my Cricut designs in the description below if you would like to recreate these. Then Cricut has a great heat guide. I'll post a link to this as well. You choose exactly what materials you have and what you're putting them on. It tells you exactly the time and temperature. So the first one we're doing is the Smart Iron-On. And I'm going to go in here at 300 degrees for 45 seconds. You're going to want to let it cool before you try to peel it. If it's not down all the way, you can always go on with more heat. So don't be afraid to do that. I went ahead and peeled it off. It looked pretty good. And then for the second press, we're going to add the prismatic glitter. This is a little bit different. It told me 315 degrees for 30 seconds with firm pressure. I did notice after letting it cool that mine was not attached fully, so I went over it with a little bit more heat with my smaller iron, and then I just kind of sanded off some of the snowflakes that were kind of like over the edges. And check out how beautiful this turned out. Here is our little sea turtle one as well. These ornaments came with hangers, so they're just twine. I'm just going to tie these off. And then to make them hang straighter on my tree, I also go back and tie them more towards the base. But we have a beautiful little sea turtle and seahorse Christmas ornament. Look how beautiful these turned out. I love that prismatic glitter HTV. Look how beautiful it is. Now, with the HTV, it sits really flat against the wood, and I'm not sealing it or anything, but you totally could. I didn't want to take away from that like prismatic glitter feel. But again, if you have any problems attaching yours to the wood, it wasn't all the way, you might just need more time. Not all the wood is going to take the HTV the same. For the next Christmas ornaments, I'm going to use these flat white globes from Dollar Tree. I actually bought them online. I only had to buy 6, and I think these are going to make great blinks for Christmas ornaments. I have about 3 inches to work with, so I just do a 3-inch circle and make it white on my Cricut design space and go into images and find a jellyfish. This one had dots all over, so I just went to contour and selected all the dots that I didn't want it to cut out, and I will share these simplified designs. I'm going to make 2 of the white ornaments. I did a jellyfish, and I'm also going to do a coral. I'm going to cut these out in a metallic like champagne gold, and I'm also going to be using some smart vinyl for this. So I've got it all set up. I chose smart vinyl. This is the one we're going to use. It is champagne. It is metallic, and I think it's going to look really pretty for these designs. So again, I need about 6¼ inches, and I'm going to go ahead, load that in my little Cricut Joy Xtra, and let it work its magic. I can't wait to play with this. It also does print and cut. It uses the pens and markers. You can make cards with it as well. I'm so excited about this new Cricut. Now, I cut out both at the same time again. I'm just going to cut that down, save my scrap material. I can always reuse that on a mat. Make sure I get it well burnished because it's a very intricate little design. And I'm just going to remove the extra vinyl. Now, this is not the iron-on or the HTV we used before. This is sticky vinyl, so we can just stick this right to the ornament once we get it all weeded. I'm going to use some Cricut transfer tape. And again, the images were quite intricate, so I had to make sure that I got it really good and down. Make sure before you pull it off that you get everything you want. Now, since it's kind of flat on the front of this ornament, it was really easy to attach these. I just laid the transfer tape on there and smoothed out the little jellyfish. And we're going to do the same thing here for the little coral. Had a little trouble finding which way would be best to get started on this, but just kind of take your time because, again, I chose some pretty intricate designs, but I did that because they're going to be beautiful. So I want to just kind of put my coral on the front, just like we did with the jellyfish. And you can always kind of cut your transfer tape if you need to get it to lay flat. But I really didn't have any trouble getting these on. Any of the areas that weren't completely flat with it, I tried to just kind of press down as soon as I can. And I found like using the back of my little Cricut weeder help to kind of scrape those down, make sure everything was well attached and it looked perfect. Now, the only thing I didn't like is that the holders were silver and it didn't really match the gold. And so I'm just going to go in there with some gold acrylic paint and touch these up real quick so it'll kind of coordinate. You could probably use spray paint on this. It'd probably be a little easier. I have no idea what I did with my gold spray paint though. But I'm just going to touch those up, and I think these ornaments are going to be so pretty. You could always use these for your coastal Christmas tree, or you could give them out as gifts. I love receiving Christmas ornaments as gifts. It's a great way to remember a friendship or a coworker or something like that. So once I got them painted, I'm going to pop these back in, and I will post an affiliate link below for all the materials that I used today and my new machine, my new Cricut Joy Xtra, if you are interested in a new cutting machine. And I'll share these files so you can recreate these just like I did. So again, just using these ornaments from the Dollar Tree, we made some beautiful Christmas designs, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And once again, I would like to thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video. I had a great time making Christmas ornaments, and I can't wait to make more. Thank you so much for watching, and let's make some Christmas ornaments.